Hello everyone, and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Vorse. Here's another one of those headlines which will make the less faithful among the Catholic crowd squirm in their seats a little bit, not to mention the happy-clappy crowd. A Spanish cardinal well placed in the Vatican is recommending that Catholics, quote, receive communion on the tongue and while kneeling. His words, not ours. His rationale, quote, it is the sign of adoration that needs to be recovered. I think the entire church needs to receive communion while kneeling, end quote. Yep, sure is. By the way, this cardinal isn't just any old cardinal hanging around St. Peter's on an extended Roman lunch break. He is Cardinal Antonio Canizares Llovera, the prefect of the Vatican's Congregation for Divine Worship and the Discipline of the Sacraments. That means he is the cardinal in charge of these types of matters. What is the gist that he's really saying? That despite the whole God is love, hyper-preaching and hand-holding and swaying to syrupy hymns and 3.5-hour signs of peace breaks interrupting the sacred liturgy, that are after all that, a deep reverence for the Holy Eucharist, the body, blood, soul, and divinity of our blessed Lord, has been lost and needs to, as he said, be recovered. This is something that needs to be seriously reflected on and prayed over by all priests who resist this for whatever reason. Some don't like it because, in their view, it's a throwback to those old pre-Vatican II days, and that is the absolute worst thing that could ever happen, even more so than the laity essentially ignoring or being indifferent to their Eucharistic Lord right in front of them. For these priests and bishops, they look on those days as some sort of horrible or stultifying expression of the faith that was finally liberated from its ancient, moribund, depressing expressions. We are the happy, exuberant people of God now, after all, who stand before our God as full adults and stick out our hands and self-communicate. Only immature infants in the faith kneel and are fed. This view is what lies at the heart of much protest, quiet or vocal, against kneeling and receiving on the tongue. But since they can't really say that out loud, or oftentimes don't even realize it themselves, they make up silly excuses why this is impractical. Excuses like, well, people will trip on each other. It will take so much time. It's inefficient. Ah, yes, the practical church. Saints of heaven, preserve us from the practical church. What a fantastic teaching moment this would be as a pastor, using the reflections of the cardinal, not to mention the ongoing practice of the Holy Father himself, to expound on the supreme teaching and truth of the Holy Eucharist, to have such a moment and let it pass by, to be able to start a parish-wide initiative geared up, for example, for Advent when the new translations hit, to train the altar servers in a deeper respect for the Eucharist, to make it the focus of many homilies between now and then, to be able to write continuing education announcements in the bulletins. What a wonderful opportunity. And all it would take is the laying aside of the priest's personal ego for the sake of advancing proper attitude and devotion and reverence to our Lord. What many graces and blessings would befall that parish and that priest. Yes, indeed. Why not kneel as St. Thomas did, as St. Peter did in the presence of their risen Lord? Thank you, Your Eminence, for your wonderful reflections. God love you. I'm Michael Vorse.
Join Michael Vorse and Real Catholic TV as we travel to Madrid, Spain for World Youth Day 2011. Catch all the action this August on our No Bull in Madrid website, nobullinmadrid.com, where you'll find the best kind of bullfighting. We'll be bringing you live coverage and special features, including the state of the faith in Spain among the millions of young people flocking there. So click on nobullinmadrid.com, where Real Catholic TV will be taking the bull by the horns for you.